Celebrating 30 years of phenomenal trend forecasting, 5 times a week, Monday through Friday. Here's Gerald Celente with today's trends in the news.
Hi, this is Gerald Celente. It's Thursday, December 13th, 2018. And here are some of today's trends in the news. On the market front, over there in Asia, everybody's up. Over there in Europe, everybody's down. Here in the States, Dow is up over 200 points, closed around 70 up. NASDAQ down. Oil up. Gold and Bitcoin down. What's going on? Well, Dow rises in wobbly session. You ready? As Wall Street digests latest U.S.-China trade developments. Digests it? How about vomiting it? When are we going to hear the end of this stupid story about China, tariffs, and trade? Again, all of Trump's tariffs on China amount to the grand total, ladies and gentlemen, of 0.7%. This is not the issue. The issue is interest rates. The other issue, oil prices. And the third issue, what may happen over there in the Middle East as things are going to start heating up again. So where's the future going? It's in your top trends. That's right. The top 10 megatrends for 2019 coming to you next week. History before it happens. Prepare, prevail, and prosper. You'll be getting them soon. And on to gold. Well, gold prices went down a little bit. You know why? The euro got weaker. That's right. The ECB over there, they're not sure what they're going to be doing. The global economy is going down, and so too is Europe's. You see the latest data coming out of there from Germany, the biggest, strongest nation in the Eurozone. Doesn't look too good for next year. They downgraded growth to 1.1%. And again, the ECB, they're not so sure what they're going to do next. Draghi set to guide ECB gently through QE exit. That's right. After 4 years and a 2.6 trillion euro bond buying spree. Bond buying spree? How about a bond buying scam? Buying up corporate and government bonds. The merger of state and corporate powers. Fascism, yeah. The European Central Bank's experiment in trying to rescue the Eurozone economy by bloating its balance sheet is about to end. With growth in the Eurozone slowing and risks emanating from within and outside the region, Mr. Draghi wants to cement his dovish message that the ECB will continually support the economy by other means and that monetary policy is still years from normality. Yeah, you got people that aren't normal doing things that aren't normal. It adds up perfectly. They're still in negative interest rate territory. They have no room to move. When the economy slows down, they'll come up with a new scam, of course, but it's not going to be the interest rate scam. ECB stimulus leaves a mixed legacy. The bank's program was originally designed to last 18 months. It ended up lasting almost 4 years and costing more than double of what they said they were going to do. Economic growth slowed last quarter to its weakest level in 4 years. Again, the only thing that's keeping the markets alive is that monetary methadone that they keep putting in there. But someday, the drug addict dies, they OD. And on the oil front, oil prices went up today. You know why? Here's what they say. Data showed inventory declines in the United States, and as investors began to expect that the global oil market could have a deficit sooner than they had previously thought. But again, it's a supply and demand issue. The global economy is slowing down. Again, take a look what just happened in Japan. Last quarter's GDP down 2.5%. Just mention what's going on in Germany and the Eurozone. Hey, take a look at China. Yeah, those car sales, biggest decline in 20 years. Home market going down, real estate down, luxury goods down. It's a down time. It's supply and demand. That's the issue that's going to find out where oil prices are going to go. But also, things are heating up again in the Middle East. We just heard from our wonderful Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, calls for tougher UN sanctions and a tougher stance against Iran. He accused Iran of having destabilized the Middle East and beyond. Could you imagine that? Iran destabilizing the Middle East? How about the United States destabilizing the Middle East? Pompeo, could you spell a rock? The war that Bush lied us into? Oh, you probably voted for. How about Afghanistan? You forgot Libya, that Barack backtrack Nobel Peace of Crap Prize winner started along with Sarkozy and Cameron. Not to forget Hillary Clinton, Samantha Power, and Susan Rice. How about that destabilizing Middle East? I forgot. How about the Yemen war started by the Saudis? That didn't destabilize the Middle East. Oh, no, they're our favorite ally. Just ask Trump. So anyway, oil prices could spike if things get out of control in the Middle East. And that'll bring down the global economy if it goes over $100 a barrel. Because if they raise interest rates again, which they're going to do probably next week, that may boost the dollar up, get it stronger, and all those other currencies go lower. Like that Indian rupee, which is at an all-time low and keeps going lower, and India imports 80% of its energy, and what is it called? Petrodollars. You buy it in bucks. So, talking about interest rates, U.S. home builder stocks under pressure as interest rates bite. But will they keep raising interest rates? Slowing inflation data bolster Fed's caution on rate rise. Fed fund futures are pricing in a 34% chance that the central bank does not touch interest rates next year. Oh, and the ECB over there, they're not going to touch interest rates maybe until next summer. So they're going to keep that monetary meth going. You go back to September, here it was. The futures put the chance of central bank standing pat in December at 0. Now, and again, this is only next week, they're saying a 23% chance that the Fed won't raise rates. And moving on to some other news, McDonald's to reduce the use of antibiotics. Yep. And according to the Natural Resources Defense Council, 43% of the medically important antibiotics sold to the United States livestock sector go to the beef industry. The World Health Organization has said that antibiotic resistance is one of the biggest threats to human health globally. Well, guess what? Wrote about that over 20 years ago in my book, Trends 2000. Drug-proof disease spreading, misuse of antibiotics is producing drug-resistant bacteria, fueling the resurgence of cholera, tuberculosis, and other diseases. And going on to McDonald's, nutrition campaign draws a complaint. McDonald's Corporation said that it had joined with the American Dietetic Association to introduce a nutrition education program. A physicians group, however, asked the government to investigate a portion of the campaign that tells children that meat, quote, can make it easier to do things like climb higher and ride your bike further. Can you believe this crap? And again, we wrote about it. A spokeswoman for McDonald's defended the campaign. She said the company was, quote, very comfortable with our program because it was developed in conjunction with the American Dietetic Association. So there you got it. Antibiotics. People eating more and more junk food. Go and look at, next week, some of your top megatrends for 2019. One of them has a lot to do about what you're eating and what's happening, how much it's costing, and the positive trends to consider to reverse that trend and to cash in on it as an on-trendpreneur. It's ready to explode. That's right, in a lot of ways. You'll see more about it. Tabloid publishers deal in hush money inquiry adds to Trump's danger. And right over here, another photo. Michael D. Cohen joined in court by his family, was sentenced to 3 years in prison. What does all this mean? Well, check out these two links at our website. Judge Andrew Napolitano, my friend at Fox, sums it up the best way that I have heard or read yet. Totally unbiased and not Fox friendly. Great guy and a dear friend. And what else do we have here? Senate votes to end U.S. support for Saudi war, bucking Trump. Just came out today. But of course, the House has to vote on it. And Trump said he will veto it. Trump also said that Saudi Arabia has been a very good ally, and at this moment he's sticking with the Saudi Arabian crown prince. And Majority Leader Mitch McConnell said, we also want to preserve the 70-year-old partnership between the United States and Saudi Arabia. We want to ensure it continues to serve American interests. Serve American interests and start war in the Middle East. Support all those ISIS's and other radical Islamists like you did in Libya to overthrow Gaddafi, huh? Yep, our great friends the Saudis who invaded Yemen, the worst humanitarian crisis on earth, but they don't talk about that in that Senate bill. No, no. You know why they did it? Because what they did to that journalist Khashoggi, that over 60,000 Yemenis have been slaughtered, that it's the worst humanitarian crisis on earth. That doesn't matter. Because why doesn't it matter? Because, hey, they don't like to occupy peace. They rather spend more money for war and sell those armaments to kill those people. And speaking of which, Turkey risks U.S. clash over Kurdish militants in Syria. Turkey's preparing a military operation in Syria to flush out Kurdish militants fighting ISIS alongside U.S. units. Neither of these two countries should be in there. What right does America have to be there? What right does Turkey have to be there? You don't need any rights. Just do what you want to do and kill whoever you want to kill, because that's the way it is these days. But the big issue here to look at, remember, oil, interest rates, and war. That is what's going to drive the markets in 2019, as well as economies. And more about it in your upcoming top 10 megatrends for 2019. This is Gerald Celente, and that's some of today's trends in the news.